Good evening, Michael here from Shenzhen, Japan, and today I've got another lens review. This time it's my Tamron 18-400. Right, okay, well, I'll tell you a bit about it. Actually, the reason I got it, I bought it really as a travel lens for last year when I went to Vietnam and Dubai and whatnot, and as a just as a travel lens, it's convenient. I don't need to bring lots of stuff with me, and I can do various photography and with one lens. So that's why I got that. I wasn't expecting it to be excellent, but anyway, I bought it. I did look at reviews, and the reviews are a bit mixed for this lens. Some people say it's rubbish, other people say it's brilliant, some people say it's not too bad. So I thought, well, sod it, I'm going to buy it and try it. And I've used it quite a bit, both for doing like landscape photography and also doing some birds with it. And so far I've been quite impressed with it. It does really well. Yeah, it does really well. I pair it up with either my Nikon D5300 or the 7500, and yeah, that takes really good pictures with either, especially the 7500. They're even better, but that still do well with the other one. Anyway, I'll give you a few specs first of all. Right, well, first of all, the length of this in its folded state. It's, right, as you can see there, 15 centimetres without the hood. With the hood, that's going to add, I guess, about 3 centimetres. Yeah, so, well, 17 and a half centimetres roughly with the hood. Right, take that off. And let's extend it to its maximum. And that does grow quite somewhat. Right, so you've gone from 15 folded to 24. So it's quite long when it's folded out, and of course if you put the lens hood on, you've got about another 3 centimetres, about 27 that will be. So it's quite long when it's maxed out. Weight, I haven't weighed it. I don't know what it weighs. I'd say I'm getting on for a kilogram, I'd have thought. Maybe 800 grams, something like that. It's fairly heavy, I suppose. It's quite a bit bulky. But, at the same time, it's fairly compact, I suppose, when you consider the focal range from 18 all the way to 400. It's not that bad. Right, it has the lock switch on, so you can lock it in its bottom position, but you can't lock it. Unlike my other lens where you can lock it at each stage, this one you can't. You can only lock it at the bottom, but quite honestly, you're not really going to want to lock it at 100 or 70 or something. So yeah, so anyway, it's got a lock, which is handy, so it's not going to start sliding out when you're carrying it about. It's also got the selector switch for autofocus or manual focus, and you've got your stabilizer button there, either on or off. So it's got 3 buttons on here. It's a 72mm lens. The filter size, see, I've got a filter on it. All my lenses have filters on to protect the lens. I think I mentioned one of my other videos, 3 of my lenses are all 72mm. So that's not I bought them because of that. It's just purely coincidence. They're all 72. So that's pretty handy. I can use the same filters, not the glass ones, because obviously each have got its own one. I'm talking about like other filters. If I want the black filter or any other filters, I can use the same filters on all the 3 lenses. So that's pretty handy. But yeah, anyway, that's 72mm. So I've used it quite a bit. I took it to Vietnam. I took it when I went to England and Dubai last year as well. I've used it around here. So I've taken several thousand photos, and so far I've been quite happy with it. They come out really clear. It doesn't have a lot of problems with focusing. It seems to focus fairly well. So yeah, that part is all right. The only one thing there is with this lens is there is a sticky spot around, where is it? 50 to 70, maybe there. Yeah, between 50 and probably 100. It's a little sticky, but other than that, it's otherwise smooth after that. Especially from 200, 400 is good on this one. 18 to 50 is not bad. It's a bit sticky, 50 to 100. It's definitely not terribly bad. It's not going to really affect how you use it or anything. I don't know if it's just this one or all the lenses have that or not, but this particular one, it's a little sticky in the middle there, but it's really not a major issue at all. And yeah, as you can see, obviously with that weight, you do have the lens creep, which you would expect. So yeah, if you've got the lock switch, obviously that's not going to be a problem. Without the lock switch, it doesn't, even if you shake it, it doesn't really drop down. Unless you open a bit, then that would. So it's definitely worth using the lock switch. If you're just carrying it around, you don't want it to lens to creep. But anyway, yeah, so it does stick a little bit around there between 50 and 100 on this particular lens. Whether they all do or not, I have no idea, but this one does. But I've been using it, I have no problems. That's not really an issue, and probably as it gets used more, it's probably become less stiff anyway, I think. These type of lenses tend to loosen up slightly over it after a year or two of use anyway, so don't think that's a big issue. Yeah. It's as for the sealing on it, actually I haven't really looked at that. Let's just check it and see. It has a, yeah, this has a seal here. You see the black rubber seal, small seal there. So that has some weather sealing on it. So it should help keep some of the dust and weather out of your camera, but as with most of these lenses, I wouldn't trust them in any really rough weather anyway, and if it's really raining heavy or something, I'm not going to use it anyway. So, but yeah, it should anyway give you at least some degree of protection against the elements. Other than that, I've been happy with it. I haven't had any problems yet. It will focus quite quickly, even on moving subjects, as well as still things. So yeah, one thing, if you have a DSLR, I would certainly recommend getting this lens over. For example, if you're traveling and you're thinking to get like a bridge camera or point and shoot, for the same sort of money, you can buy this lens and you're going to get far superior pictures. Just because DSLR camera compared to like a bridge camera is going to have a bigger sensor, better sensor. It's just generally going to give you a lot more better pictures, and of course you've got a lot more functions on most of the cameras anyway. So for anyone that's sort of on the fence thinking I want a camera that would sort of do everything when I'm traveling or something like that, and you're thinking, do I get this lens or do I go and get a bridge camera? I think you're looking at to get a really good bridge camera actually is going to cost more than that is for this lens. And this lens cost me, what was it, about 70,000 yen. So what's that? Probably $700, is it? $800, something like that. A really good bridge camera with a 1-inch sensor, you're looking at, like a Sony or something, you're looking at getting on for probably $2,000. So, and it's still not going to have as good low light ability as a DSLR anyway, in general. So if you're interested in this lens and your main purpose is for as a travel lens or just general, a lens that you can have for just general taking pictures or whatever, you don't want to carry lots of equipment with you, I'd recommend this over a bridge camera for that reason. If you've already got a DSLR, obviously if you're looking at this sort of review for this lens, you probably have. So yeah, so go for one of these, I would have said. There is also, I think you can get 18-300. Reason I went for the 18-400 and not like an 18-300, because with a lot of these lenses, they're not totally sharp at the very far end. I mean, you normally need to step them down to about 350, 380 millimeters. So, but in reality, it's probably closer to 320 or 330, something like that. Even at 380, I think, probably. So if you start off with 18-300, time you step that down a bit, you're down into the 200s. So that's why I've gone for this thing, because you're still going to, even if you step it down a bit, you're still going to have a lens that's giving you a decent picture over 300 millimeters, which is still a pretty good zoom, and especially with a crop sensor camera, you're looking at you're looking at a lot more then. I mean, a 450 is going to give you a 600 equivalent, so to full frame. So that's why I went for the 18-400. I think you can get you can get 18-200s and or whatever, 16-250 is it, or whatever. There's all different sizes you can get, but well, depends on your needs. If you're never going to, if you're just doing street photography and you're really never going to want to zoom in on things or do wildlife, maybe you don't need this. I got it because I do wildlife, and even when I'm traveling, there's always something coming along. I found last year when I was walking about in Dubai, I found some birds and trees that obviously we don't have here, and as I had that lens on, I was lucky I was able to capture them. So for me, it's quite essential to have both a zoom lens and a wide angle, so whenever I'm out and about. If I'm out and about here, of course, locally, I'll have my 600mm lens on one camera and I'll have the 17-70 on the other camera. I'll bring two cameras unless I'm hiking somewhere and I don't want to carry too much stuff, but when I'm travelling, it's not always convenient to carry all that gear. So yeah, so I went for this and I'm quite happy with it. Oh, I didn't mention it's also f3.5 to 6.3. So obviously it's not the brightest lens in the world by any means, but you can quite easily overcompensate for the slight darkness by using the settings on your camera, adjusting them, adjust the exposure. Just add a little bit more on the exposure if need be, and things like that, so you can make your pictures quite a bit brighter on a dull day. If need be, on a sunny day, this takes good pictures, no problem. But if it's a dull day and you're not really getting enough light, just change your settings on your camera. Just add a little bit onto your exposure control, and that will cure that problem. So yeah. Anyway, that's about it for now. I hope this has been useful, this review, and I'll have another review out sometime soon. Maybe my camera review or something. Anyway, some part of my equipment or tripod. I'll review some more of my equipment. So anyway, if you found this useful, please click on the like. And if you haven't already subscribed, please subscribe. That really would help me, because it tells me that people are interested in my videos, and then I can make some more. So yeah, anyway, thank you for watching, and I'll see you again soon. Okay, goodbye.